Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Armageddon Time. And this is a new, deeply personal drama from writer-director James Gray, who I have not seen his earlier films, like The Immigrant and some of his other ones before that, but I am a huge fan of The Lost City of Zed and Ad Astra. So I was excited to hear Armageddon Time was coming, and this is a semi-autobiographical film about his own coming of age, his upbringing with a very Jewish family. And this film is interesting in the way that it approaches coming of age tales, because there's a lot of things we expect from them, and this film subverts that in certain ways. This is not nostalgia driven. There's no fun moments of like, oh, remembering yesteryear. No, it's a tough film. And if you've ever seen any James Gray films, you understand there's an intensity and there's a starkness about his films, and he does not compromise on that to make a fun-loving coming-of-age story. Right at the heart of this, Bangs Rapita plays this young man, and he's a bit of a shit. He really is. And he has a tough relationship with his parents, Anne Hathaway and Jeremy Strong. Anne Hathaway they're both great. Both parents are fantastic in this film, and Anne Hathaway is such a great actress. But both her and Jeremy Strong's character, Irving, have a lot of hate and anger underneath, and you see moments where that boils up to the top and how it affects their children. And those are some dark moments. This film does not shy away from darkness and weight. And I appreciate that most about this film, is that this will not pull punches in the way that it portrays this coming-of-age story. There is abuse. There's beatings with a belt that you see as this young boy is crying. And you see Strong just being this presence, and it's such an interesting turn for him, for which I know him mostly from Succession and a little bit from The Gentleman. But you have those two, but the real standout that really steals the show in every scene is Anthony Hopkins as the grandfather, who is a direct descendant of a Jewish woman who survived killings in her home country over in the Ukraine, and came to England and then came to America to find a new life. And he is such a genuine and heartfelt character. Hopkins gives such a fantastic performance, and legitimately he's probably the only really truly likable character in this film. And that's a challenge, I think, for this, because I understand not everybody's going to be likable, but I do feel like on some level this film was begging for somebody to be likable. And it does challenge you without having any of that. And how well does this play out? I still think this is a really strong film. I do feel like it is lacking in certain ways. Certain things that it tries to tackle, it doesn't tackle with enough depth and finesse to it. Like, he has this young black friend played by Jalen Webb, and that character is really only like a plot device to show Paul, our main character, like grappling with like being friends with a kid of another race at a time where like that was kind of a no-no. And then he gets sent to this private school where he meets some of the Trumps and stuff like that, and he's really out of his element, and Gray's able to extract all the drama out of this film in these points, and great performances from his actors. I just feel like this one's a bit of a step down from his previous two, as it struggles too much with not really having a focus and not having a solidified message, and lacking some depth and finesse in the way that it deals with stuff. It's like basically like this one character of color is just basically a plot crutch, and that's a bit disappointing. But in the end, I do think this is some quality filmmaking and some quality acting coming from those behind the camera, in front of the camera here for this film. But in general, I think this is a strong film. It's not a great film, and hey, you might just want to check out the other version of this young coming of age story. But this one's a little starker, a little bit more genuine and heavy. And if you're into that, give this one some love. But those are my thoughts on Armageddon Time. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in, supporting your Wasteland reviewer.